Welcome to Real Combat, everybody, the ultimate movie debate show by movie fans for movie fans. This is season 2, and we're excited to get started. The rules of Real Combat are simple. Both contestants have chosen a movie they think I should watch. They will debate through 4 rounds of different categories to convince me on why I should watch their movie of choice. The contestants with the oldest movie goes first. Round 1 is, why should I watch your movie? Round 2, why shouldn't I watch your opponent's movie? Round 3 is your movie's impact on audiences. And round 4 is personal connections, where the contestants reveal their personal connections to the movies of choice. Let's meet our contestants. And we're back to Real Combat, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have 2 great guests from 2 great shows. From the FSF Podcast, we have Kathleen Wass.
Hey there. How's it going?
And, of course, from the 3 Geeks Podcast and Matt Talk, another show he does, Mr. Jason Taylor.
Hello,
What's up,
everybody.
guys?
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. This will be fun.
I'm hanging out with my 2 favorite people.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
We won't tell the other geeks.
We're right now we're 3 geeks, and we're going to be talking some movies.
Look at us. There's actually 3 of us.
We're going to have a good time.
There are 3 of you guys now.
That's true. Kathleen, you are returning.
I am.
You went up against Ron Lippett in season 1, and Jason, this is your first time on the show, which I don't know how that happened, but I'm excited. So, of course, everybody, we have 4 rounds. We're going to get into it, but first we need to see what the movies are. So, Kathleen, I'm going to start with you. What is your movie of choice tonight?
My movie of choice is the 1953 horror classic House of Wax.
Ooh, very nice. I like that choice. All right, Kathleen wins. No, I'm kidding.
You know what's funny is that happened last time too.
It's true. She brought back a good one, and same here. But Jason, I am excited because you are a big horror fan. And what is your movie of choice?
My movie of choice is Scream 3.
Scream 3. That's a bold one, and I can't wait to hear that argument. Okay, Scream 3 versus House of Wax from 53. Of course, how this works is the oldest movie goes first. So I am going to mute, and Kathleen, you take it away for round 1. Round 1 being, why should I watch your movie of choice?
All right. Well, why shouldn't you watch my movie of choice is actually an easier question, and there's not a reason not to watch it. I actually watched it this morning in preparation for this with it's been a few years since I've seen this. Does it still hold up to the expectations I have for it? And it does, 110%. It does not matter if it's the first time you've seen it or the 30th time you've seen it. That is a fantastic movie. It's not necessarily in-your-face scary anymore. I mean, to a 1953 movie, that was cutting-edge horror. That was terrifying. But now it's more of that suspense to it, the human nature aspect of it that really, really gets you. For those who are not familiar with the movie, or are familiar with the 2005 horrendous remake, this movie is fantastic, starring Vincent Price as Jared. His character's name is Jared, Professor something. I don't remember. I could, pull it up on the screen that's right next to me. Yes, I could. Professor Henry Jared. See, I knew it was in there somewhere. Who is the owner of a wax museum whose partner decides he wants out of it, burns the museum down, maiming his friend. Assuming his friend is dead, collects the insurance check, and then his friend gets his revenge in the most Vincent Price way possible. Through murder and mayhem. But, I mean, I love it. I love Vincent Price movies. I love classic horror movies. So it's a win in my book, but that's up for Mick. I mean, obviously, that's for you to decide.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good argument. I like that, and that is very good for why I should watch your movie. Now we're going on to Scream 3. And Jason, why should I watch Scream 3?
Anybody that knows me knows that Scream is my favorite horror franchise, hands down. But watching Scream 3 in 2022, you get to watch the movie through a different lens. And it's almost like Wes Craven was telling us like what was happening in Hollywood before we had even establish that it happened. Like, there was rumors that this stuff was happening, but if you watch it now, I just watched it with my daughter, it's fascinating to see all the things that Wes seems like he's trying to convey to his audience. Like, this is happening. Like, these powerful men are taking advantage of these women in awful situations just to get roles, just to be in movies. And watching it through that angle, the movie just adds another layer that you didn't know was there maybe previously. And I definitely recommend checking it out. And then on top of it, in a lot of ways, it's the scariest of the Scream movies. The whole storyline with the mother haunting her is absolutely frightening. And just the way the story progresses. I absolutely love this movie. I love the message that Wes was trying to convey. It's super impressive that this movie was written as they were filming. And it's a great film to revisit because you get to watch it through a different angle.
All right, great argument. That was, and you really are intense about this movie. I kind of dig it. I've never seen anybody so ardently defend Scream 3 before, but all right, I like your angle. All right, we're gonna go on to round 2, but I'm gonna give Jason the win on that round. Now, winning the round does not get you the game, so
I'll take it.
Keep it going because round 2 is where it gets fun. Why shouldn't I watch your opponent's movie? And Jason, because you went second last time, I'm going to let you take it first this time.
Because you've seen House of Wax. You're going to watch House of Wax again, and it's going to be more or less the same story. Going back to Scream 3 in 2022, it's going to give you a different layer to that story. You don't need to watch House of Wax. It's not even in the top 5 Vincent Price movies on IMDb. Like, there's plenty of Vincent Price movies you can tackle before you get to House of Wax. House of Wax, the only thing that comes to my mind when I hear House of Wax is Paris Hilton. God knows I don't want her on my mind. So I'm just saying that if you go back and watch House of Wax, you're getting more of the same. It's a story you've seen. There's no added layers to the film that you can dissect now that you didn't dissect the last time you watched it. And God, who wants the memory of Paris Hilton, whether she's in this version or not? It doesn't matter. Paris Hilton has ruined this entire franchise. And like I said, it's not even Vincent Price's top 5 movies on IMDb. So go through those 5 first before you tackle this one.
Oh, okay. Brutal. But I think this is why I'm glad that Kathleen is going second on this one. I can't wait to hear what her argument is. Kathleen, why shouldn't I watch your opponent's movie?
In what world are sequels ever better than the original?
Scream 2 is better than the original.
But come on, this is the third. This is scraping the bottom of the barrel, and then they decided to milk it for what it was worth and go with a fourth one.
Which is great.
And you talk about how fantastic it was that they were still writing it while they were in production. No, they were so behind on their schedule that they were rushing to write it while they were filming it. That is not something to be proud of. That is walking into class, finishing your class project while somebody else is giving their presentation. Like that is cutting it close.
No, let her have her time. Let her have her time. Let her have her time.
Come on, I didn't interrupt you, Jason. Gosh. But I mean, I have a fondness for the first Scream movie. I have never seen the third Scream movie because it was why? They've done this. They did this story. This story is over. And doing it's so much better watching it in 2022 because you get a whole new view of it. Yeah, I don't want to be reminded of the bullcrap that's going on around me. When I watch movies, I want to be distracted from the world around me.
Well, all right. This is why I love this round. Because it gets vicious. It really does. I will say, both of you went for the throat on each other's movies, and I like those movies so much. I must say to everybody watching, you should watch these movies. Scream 3 is a very different movie from the first one, and even the second one, which was kind of a copy of the first one. And it is funny that Jason's having the argument that sequels are better in that. I'm going to let it go.
I do have one more point.
Yes.
Godfather 2.
One more point. That yes, the 2005 remake of House of Wax is horrendous, and I understand not wanting to think about Paris Hilton, but she gets a pole through her head in that movie.
It's true.
That is the best thing to happen in that movie. is that poll going through her head?
Poor Paris. Poor Paris just wants to DJ and do her thing. I will say, I think that round goes just pure viciousness has to go to Kathleen. You did a good job, Jason, but I think the thing that knocked you back was you went first because Kathleen was like, okay, I'm gonna load this shotgun right now.
Well, neither one of us has seen the other's movie, so it doesn't help either.
That's why I love that round. A lot of people have said, like, I don't think it's fair because if they don't know the other movie, it's like, yeah, but get creative. That's the whole point. So I like that. So what I'm going to do is now comes the time I want to hear about your guys' shows, promote whatever you want to promote. I'm going to make it big on the screen. We're going to go with you first, Jason. So tell us what you're here to promote.
Hi, everybody. I'm part of the Three Geeks podcast. I also do a podcast called Matt Talk. Yes, Three Geeks podcast, you hear about it all the time. Matt Talk, you don't. Do your grandparents like to listen to podcasts? You like to listen to podcasts. Why not listen to a podcast with your grandparents, with two some semi-young guys talking about everybody's favorite lawyer show, Matt Talk, the banter between John and myself. Half the show is not even about Matlock anymore. It's just about us talking about TV and funny situations we found in Matlock that we discuss. And yes, check out Matt Talk and Three Geeks podcast. Follow me at 3GeeksJ.
Camera focus. There we go. Hey, I'm Kathleen from the FSF Podcast. So we are the all nerdy, no dirty, family friendly. So sure, Jason's you can watch with your grandparents. Mine you can listen to with your kids. Way cooler than grandparents, just saying. But yes, FSF Podcast. You can find us at FSF Podcast on all of the social medias, fsfpodcast.com. Real Wise Radio at 11 on Saturday mornings before you listen to the absurdity that is the Scene Snobs. We've got some really cool guests coming up that I can't talk about yet, but I'm so excited. So, FSF Podcast, fsfpodcast.com.
Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And everybody, there's going to be links below to go check out these shows and make sure to follow them everywhere and really listen and watch their shows because they're a lot of fun. Kathleen's show has a lot of great interviews on them. And Jason, both his shows are just a lot of fun. It's high energy. It's a good time. And I do like how it is. You can watch this show with your grandparents. You can watch this show with your kids. And the Scene Snobs, like, you can't do either of those things with us. So,
No.
you know, it's all different. But we are getting on to the third round. And one I'm excited for. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. What is your movie's audience impact? So, like, how did it impact its audience as it goes on? And Kathleen, you're going to start us off this round.
All right. So this is a 1953 movie, and the fact that we're still talking about it in 2022 shows that it has had a significant impact on audiences. It was cutting-edge technology for its time. It was the first American-made movie that was done in 3D. In 1953, this movie was released in 3D. Sure, the 3D scene is a very, very campy, very cheesy fourth wall break paddleball scene in the middle of the movie, but it's 3D technology nonetheless, which was huge. It's still huge. But, I mean, even now, the movie has a 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes, give or take, I don't care what you think about them, but a 93% popularity rating is still impressive for a movie that's over 70 years old. Or almost 70 years old. I can do math. I'm not blonde. What are you talking about?
Oh, you. No, it's a great point, and for sure, and it is a movie that holds up in my opinion. So Jason, how about you? What is your movie's impact on its audiences?
Scream 3 or the Scream trilogy is considered to be one of the best 3 movie back to back in horror. And it's beloved. Like Scream 3 is considered to be a great end capper to this trilogy, unlike a certain trilogy ender that just came out recently. People celebrate the Scream trilogy. They celebrate Scream 3. And like Kathleen said in her Against Me point, no, it's a testament to the fact that they didn't have all the time in the world to finish this movie, that they did make a good movie that's cohesive and audiences really like just, they're on board. Like whether they like 4 and 5, which I still think are great, but Scream the trilogy, it could have just been this 3 films, and I think everybody in horror would have been just as happy as having more. Now Scream 3 is the best The first 3 Scream movies is the best horror series ever, and Scream 3 ends it very, very well. Think of another 3 horror films back to back to back that do justice, and the horror fans love this franchise. They love all 3 parts, and I know a lot of the love for Scream 3 is more recent, but it's the audiences love it, and we keep coming back for more.
Very good argument. I'm going to have to. Here's the thing. Your movie is Scream 3. You argued Scream franchise. That means you're piggybacking on the back of the first movie. So I'm going to have to award this round to Kathleen. But good arguments around, and it is true, and they're both great movies. Now we're getting into the final round. Now here, Jason, this is where you can go crazy, and you could start bringing up any other movie that's connected to it because it's personal connections. And you're going to start us off. What is your personal connection to Scream 3?
I was pretty much done with horror. Started Scream 1, Scream 2, and then I saw these movies with my dad, and the last one we saw together was Scream 4. But I remember him taking me to the theater to see Scream 3. We got our popcorns, we got our drinks. Like, besides Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, the Scream movies were me and my dad's thing. That's why I love them probably so much. But Scream 3 was just the end of that tradition we had for a long, long time. And it just holds a special place in my heart because we didn't get another one of these for another 11 years. And, I just have so many fond memories of going to see Scream 3. Scream 3 was the one that probably shocked me the most with how the story played out. And this movie franchise, it just made me love horror again. I was all in on horror again. I fell for all of the Scream copycats because of Scream 3's ending so well. And I was in. Like, I can't even remember the name of the movie. It was so awful, but it had the poster just like Scream with everybody. Even Halloween did the Scream 1, 2, and 3 poster and their marketing when H2O came out. I think Scream 3, like I said earlier, is the best ending to a horror series we've had thus far. I think that it's just one I really gravitate to, and I'm so lucky that my daughter loves it so much, and we get to carry that tradition on that me and my dad have, which her and I get to go see these movies now. I'm so glad they're making them again, and it all started with and ended with Scream 3 for me for the longest time, and this movie will always have a special place in my heart. It's like The Wizard of Oz, and then a Scream 3.
That's beautiful, man. That was a really good story. Kathleen?
Way to play the dad card.
What is your personal connection?
Oh my goodness. So I have always been a fan of classic horror movies. Modern horror movies are just they just don't do it for me, which it's nothing against the modern movies. They're more gore and less suspense. But Vincent Price was as popular as he was as a horror actor because of how fantastic he played his roles. Whether it was House of Wax, House on Haunted Hill, Pit and the Pendulum, Dr. Phibes, The Abominable Dr. Phibes Rises Again, which are fantastic movies, even though they are horribly cheesy and very, very campy, they're great movies. But with Vincent Price movies and the love of Vincent Price movies, House of Wax was one of them that got my attention because of the absolute twist of human nature that Vincent Price's character has. That he is so obsessed with trying to make his art that he steals bodies from the morgue after killing people and allowing them to be taken by the police. He then kidnaps them and covers their bodies in wax. To then present them in his museum as his art. That is a very strange psychological twist, and to be able to watch that portrayed, and for him to portray that character so well while being that dapper, calm, beautiful gentleman that he was, that he just was so distinguished, and you wanted to be able to approach him, and you wanted to be his friend because he just looked so nice, and then he killed people. It's fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating. I have a collection of classic horror movies with Vincent Price and Bela Lugosi and all of the classic horror because classic horror just is better. It's just done better.
Okay. All right. And I completely understand that. I don't know that I 100% agree that's better. I definitely see where, personally for me, where it's evolved from that in a beautiful way. And I think that's kind of how, like, a lot of people are like the 80s were the best, the 90s were the best. I kind of like the evolution of it all. And it all kind of, and then not the remakes.
I can totally see the evolution of it being a good thing too. But
beautiful movies like that helped create like the suspenseful thriller horror we see today, like It Follows and stuff like that. It just helps with tension building. I'm gonna have to get the dad card hit me hard. I'm gonna have to give this round to Jason, which means you guys tied. Which means you guys are gonna have to rematch each other next season.
Man.
I'll leave it up to you if we can get back on the show. But
one time I don't play the dead dad card. Jeez.
Oh, and I feel bad. My dad's alive. Like I felt bad when I played the Kylie card on top of the dad card, like continuing the tradition.
It's generational. Yeah, you're just going with generational. I really like both arguments tonight, and to pick a movie to watch during Halloween time, this is a tough one. Purely out of not just the arguments, but like my love and adoration for the film, I think I'm going to have to award this one to Kathleen with House of Wax.
That's fair. When I was doing the audience, I should have mentioned McDreamy being in 3. I should have mentioned Wes Craven, like being known for Scream more so than Freddy, and who would have thought that would have ever happened? But I didn't. So I totally
just have this ready to wear tonight.
Yeah, totally the crown is on.
How do you not mention McDreamy? God.
Yeah, I have to go back and check, but you might be our only 2-time winner.
Ooh.
I have to double check that.
I should put well on the head.
Interesting. That's so crazy. Very exciting stuff. Guys, I want to thank both of you for coming on the show tonight. I truly appreciate it. Everybody, they have great shows. Make sure to go down in the description below and check them out. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we get going?
Yeah, we're the Sometimes Nerdy, Always Dirty podcast. Check me out.
Check out both shows. Both shows are great for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and we will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye. And of course, we're going to have our new Friday morning show starting October 7th, our anniversary week, the Scene Snobs Morning Drive live show. You can enjoy us every Friday morning. We want to take the time out to say thank you so much to our wonderful patrons who support us and help keep the lights on. You guys are amazing. We love you. Tim, Paul, Stacy, Matt, Aaron, Chris S, and Chris H.
As always, big salutations and appreciations to Dan, John B, Ron, Jason, AJ, Radar, and John W.
We have 3 tiers available with plenty of perks and a lot of fun stuff. Make sure to join up at patreon.com/thescenesnobs. Of course, Snobs Nation Discord is open, and you can join in the fun conversations there with great moderators, great people. The whole nation's there, and it's wonderful. The Snobs Nation, not the whole nation.
No. I mean, the important part of the nation, the Snobs Nation.
Sooner or later, everybody will join in. It'll just be crazy, but it'll be fun. So make sure you join in there.
It's a nation of love, and it doesn't know borders. It's the Snobs Nation.
That's true. I love it. Make sure to hit like on this video on YouTube if you're watching or anywhere you're watching it. And then head over and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have great shows over there like Scene Snobs Reviews. Real Combat Season 2 is coming back in October. Plot Roast, Geek Fest Live. We, of course, have the Morning Drive live show. We also have Does It Suck, which is coming out, and more, and plenty of special events that are going to be coming.
All over the place. We're loaded up. And you can also help support us by grabbing some merch. Go ahead and sport some of your favorite stuff. You want to head into the office knowing confidently that you'll be able to tell people what the strongest ship in the fleet is. Grab one of those mugs off of our merch store, which you can find at Linktree, with all of our other great places to connect.
Make sure to follow us on all of our social media at the Scene Snobs or at the Scene Snob on TikTok because it won't let me change it, but there you go. Before we get going,
the last S for savings.
All right, everybody, take care, stay tuned, and stay geeky.